With Saturday of week 1 coming to a close, let's go ahead and take a look at week 2 and which college football teams should be on upset alert potentially. So let's go ahead and discuss. Obviously, the big one people are going to be talking about is Texas, Michigan. Now, just judging from today, I don't think Michigan can upset Texas. I think Michigan just lost a little too much from last year, but I think that's going to be a good game regardless, specifically being in Ann Arbor, but I don't think Michigan upsets them. So I'm just going to go and get that out of the way. All right, so first one we're going to talk about Tulane, Kansas State. All right, so I think that Tulane can defeat Kansas State. As of right now, the spread is not out, but matchup predictor-wise, looks like Kansas State is favored 52%. All right, so Tulane this week looked good. Now, they didn't play anybody, so it's kind of hard to tell there, but 152-0. Tulane has a lot of roster turnover, coaching turnover. Their head coach, Willie Fritz, went to Houston. They bring in John Summerall from Troy. They've got Mekhi Hughes. As for Kansas State, they lost Will Howard, and Avery Johnson has been handed the reins. Now, he did get a lot of run last year, but I could see Tulane actually winning this game, though. I think it's going to be an interesting one, and I'm curious to see where it goes. But who do you think wins this game? Let me know down in the comment section. But moving on to the next one here. All right, so next one I want to talk about is Georgia Tech and Syracuse. So Georgia Tech getting a lot of hype after that Florida State win, and admittedly I'm on the hype train there. I think Georgia Tech is good, but I'm not going to read too much into that because I don't know how good Florida State is. So I think in reality these teams are probably just both mediocre teams. Syracuse got the win today, but matchup predictor wise, Georgia Tech 66%. As for Syracuse though, let's talk about on why they can upset Georgia Tech. They have a lot of transfers coming in. So this is almost a completely new roster. They're going to only get better as the season goes on. In particular, though, among those impact transfers and the new head coach, you've got Kyle McCord at quarterback, former Ohio State quarterback. He has won a ton of ball games at Ohio State. So I think he can kind of bring that winning nature to Syracuse. I could definitely see Syracuse getting the dub here. All right, moving on to the next one. So next one I want to discuss here is Iowa State and Iowa. So Iowa is going to be favored in this one most likely. And I think Iowa State can get the job done. I know Iowa State looked bad today. Iowa's offense looked good, but Iowa's favored about 2.5. As for Iowa State, though, they return almost their complete roster of last year, in particular their quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, among others. Rocco Becht at quarterback. I think Iowa State not only can beat Iowa, I think they can win the Big 12. But now Iowa's no pushover. They are a good football team, going to be a quality defense. Going to be a top 25 team throughout the year probably, but I think Iowa State can get the job done here. Rivalry game, things are going to always be interesting. That's probably going to be a low-scoring one, but I think Iowa State can get the win. All right, so moving down here, there's not just too many next week that are jumping off the page at me, but Illinois, Kansas is another one I want to focus on. Number one with Kansas is, can Daniel stay healthy? And I really don't know the answer to that. Now, Kansas beat them by like 11 last year. Kansas favored 66% here. But Illinois, Big Ten team, a little different brand of football. Kansas, I think they're going to air it out a little bit, but I could see Illinois getting the win here just because they play that different brand of football. And with Brett Bielema, head coach, they're kind of always going to get one game where they're kind of just going to get a win over a team they shouldn't beat. And I think this could be the one for Illinois where that happens. All right, so not too many more here. Oh, scrolled too far down, my bad. All right, so there's a few more I want to talk about. All right, so Tennessee, NC State. If you would have asked me last week, I would have told you I thought NC State could win this game, and I figured Tennessee's favored. Yeah, Tennessee favored by 4.5, 80%. So if you would have asked me last week, I would have said NC State, I think, wins this game. But with how both these teams look this week, NC State struggled a little bit. Now, Grayson McCall is a winner coming over from Coastal Carolina. They've got talent everywhere. So I think this is going to be a good game. I don't, as of right now, think NC State beats them, but I think they can beat them for sure. That offense is good. You got Grayson McCall from Coastal Carolina, Waters from Duke. You got Concepcion at a receiver. That offense can go. So if they can slow down Nico in this offense for Tennessee, I think NC State can get the win. All right, so just two more here, I believe. All right, so where'd it go? Next one is Nebraska, Colorado. So I believe Colorado is favored in this game. 51%. All right, spread-wise, I don't know. Colorado, they're going to get some love from ESPN, though. Struggled this week with North Dakota State. I think Nebraska gets the win here. They've got that freshman quarterback, the Patrick Mahomes lookalike, and I think they're going to beat Colorado. Now, I don't really know the spread on that one. They may not be favored talking about Colorado, but I think Nebraska gets the win. Last one I want to talk about is Texas Tech, Washington State. I don't think Boise State can beat Oregon. Despite what Oregon looked like today, I just don't think Boise State's very good. Take that back. There's actually two I want to talk about. Texas Tech and Washington State, number one. We won't dive too much into that one, but Tech struggled today. If they struggle again like that, Washington State's going to beat them. All right, but the next one is Appalachian State, Clemson. This is the last one we're going to talk about here. Clemson, they got manhandled by Georgia today. Let's face it. Now, Georgia is the number one team in the country. Clemson wants to win the ACC, but Appalachian State is kind of that G5 team for me that I think could jump up over like Liberty, Memphis, that you could see make a leap in the rankings eventually. It's going to start here if it does happen. I think Appalachian State can beat Clemson. It's going to be tough, specifically being at Clemson. Looks like Clemson is favored by 83%. But I think Appalachian State is capable of it. They got Joey Aguilar at quarterback. They can put up some numbers. Always kind of a quality football team that's going to give teams trouble. So I think Appalachian State has the potential here to get a win. But who next week do you think can win that I didn't name? Let me know. Comment down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe.